Opposition with speaker. Now I call upon opposition reply speaker to end the opposition's case.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, firstly, I'm going to mention about the freedom of speech issues. Mr. Speaker, what the government side said is that because, the reason why those exceptionally those military hierarchical officials have the right to spread their voice in the public is because their job is dangerous. Mr. Speaker, firstly, their danger is mitigated because they can directly send their voice towards the government because the politicians are located in the military offices, because the citizens don't want them to die again, and because it is an informal choice for them to not to raise their voice in the public like other public servants. We think that they are not so different from the firefighters or police officers who also have dangers in their operation in their operations. But compared to that, our problem is that because of their distorted decision raised by their decisions, we have to pour into we have to give the severe burden for the citizens. Because like the Korea or Afghanistan or Vietnam War, because every time those hierarchy officials do not want to retreat the militaries from the battlefields, because they are not allowed the government to do that, our citizens to do that, then we have to, the citizens have to bear the burden. Only one military soldiers is $1 million a year in the battlefields. Those even though the United States citizens say that we cannot bear the burdens for the military expenditure of the Iraq-Afghanistan war, because those constantly those generals in the Afghanistan or Iraq war say that we have to need more soldiers, and because of the Barack Obamas we are dying again, and the Barack Obamas have to hear the voice of those kind of military hierarchical officials. Those citizens have to bear the burden, so even though we are in the recession age or so forth, Mr. Speaker. Those this is a very high impact compared to our side of the house. Secondly, about the line which they are talking about, with what the government side has mentioned about it is fine for the military officials to raise the biased view, to show the biased view in the work because we have the counter discourse. Mr. Speaker, we say no, because those especially the military organizations, those organizations completely closed a community, because those hierarchy officials have strong authority in the communities. If those hierarchy officials like generals or Iraq or Afghanistan wars criticize Barack Obama, those kind of ideas spread in those communities because everybody shares those kind of ideas. And I see like the Fox News media that those low-ranking officials say that we agree with the notion of the officials say Barack Obama's negligence, we are dying in the battlefields. Those kind of complaints spread leads to the sabotage on those kind of or the decrease the motives for the military officials to work strongly, especially on the battlefield. Those kinds of motivations is necessary as far as they are in the very strong under the pressure to be died, to be killed, or those lowering the motivation is completely severe situation. Therefore, every time those the administration fire the generals who criticize their administration to allocate the more soldiers or to let them to do launch atomic bomb and so forth. Thirdly, about those as far as those they are asked by the citizens to keep the national security, they have the duty to fulfill those kinds of laws, and they should fulfill the laws as far as they are asked to and hired by the citizens. For those reasons, we beg to oppose.
Thank the opposition reply speaker, and I'll call upon the government reply speaker to end the government case in the debate.
Speaker. Well, the government side has clearly told you that the unique reason why military officers have a right and it is justified to criticize. And also we clearly told you that why under the current situation the only the policy is not necessary and the criticizing is so important for the public discourse making, and why this is not swaying the people, but rather that it is so important discourse for the public. So the crucial failure of the state opposition side is that first of all, they ask for the justification. They say like that there is like same also the policeman or the firefighters. They cannot. This is the same case to military because they say like this is a threat to life or that kind of thing. And also they say like that consent is actually happening, so this is no problem. First of all, as they say like the policeman firefighter, we think that considering that the policy made to the policeman or firefighter, we can never see that these kind of the policies is actually somewhat controversial or something that can one policy can be so threatened to life. This kind of thing is really unrealistic. However, consider the policies made us for the military officers. This one small policy can actually kill the many soldiers. Or this is so controversial considering the fact that many parties are actually doing conflict over the military affairs. So we think that it is totally different case. And also we think that the consent is so important, and they say like that they made a consent so they can. But we never see that these kind of people are consenting that fact that they automatically follow every decision made by the government. When there's a case like this kind of decision can actually lead to the killing many people, they also have a right to criticize because threatening to life is so devastating. Okay, so also what they say like that after taking this proposal, they say like that they're opposing to the point of like the publicly criticizing. They say like they should secretly criticize or that kind of thing. However, if they privately say to the government and the government actually accept and they made a policy that is considering considering the demand of the military, they won't criticize in the first place. There's no necessity for them to actually criticize, right? Because under the current situation, they are punished so they cannot criticize, and also the public never noticed the fact that these kind of problems actually existing. That is why they have a strong necessity to criticize, right? However, so after taking this proposal, so we think that if the private is enough, they don't feel the necessity in the first place. However, they have a strong desire to criticize because the government have no incentive, because they try to put more focus on the budget or the conflict between the party or the civilians' affairs. So we think that this kind of public criticizing is so important in terms of the listening to the voice of the military officers. So and also they say like what they feel is like that the mindset is like the military officers try to achieve the visible achievement, but my partner has already told you like that there are other ministries are also trying to achieve visible achievement, right? That each ministry try to get each ministry try to get more budget for their own ministry and try to get more visible achievement uniquely to their ministry. So we think that this is same, and even though they do the visible achievement, they pursue the visible achievement cannot automatically result to the achievement, and also there is no unique to the military. And also they say like that there is a malfunction of the government. However, we clearly told you that for the POI like that, there is also the criticism like that. Requiring the increase the troop or the increase the soldier or increase the budget, how can we say that these kind of things can actually lead to the decrease the motivation of the government, right? So considering the spectrum of the criticizing, their motivation will never decrease. So we think that we told you the unique reason to criticize. We think this is we can take this motion. Thank you.